sinking fund management for strata and commercial buildings. Earlier on in the last two series we were looking at the case study as well as the background behind the history of sinking funds in Australia. Now what we'll do, we'll go through one of the sample reports so you can see what is in one report and how these go together. So let's have a look here now. Alright, so this is one set of apartments, 1, 2, 3. So it's a 6-pack, it's been recently rented. We've got a little fence down the side and the driveway. So let's have a look at some of these parts inside of here. We'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so the forecast is going to go for 15 years. These are the parts of the sinking fund. So we're looking at where the property is, proposed levies, the methodology behind it, the annual balance of the sinking fund, and also the forecast of the cost and income of the bank balance over that 15-year period, and yearly expenditure of that table from there. So you've got a full plan over the 15 years so you know where you sit with everything in there. So we'll go on to the next page. Alright, so with the next page we're looking at this amount of units here. They've got no money in the sinking fund to start off with. There's 10 lot entitlements in the building, and the sinking fund's been set for $320 a year. So that should be enough money to put aside for the building to make sure that there's enough money to look after the building for that 15-year period. So we'll go to the next one and have a look there. Alright, so we're looking at the methodology in behind the sinking fund. So either with the sinking fund or a maintenance plan, we do that over a 15-year period. So this is where we talk about the levy incomes, where we allow for the levies over that time of period. We also allow for the interest period on how much money we need to set aside over that time, or the extra money that can be made available in the sinking fund forecast. Also with the report, you can either have it registered for GST or without GST to make that the easiest way to maintain your building, make sure that there's enough money put aside in the building to look after that program. Alright, so from here, so this is the forecast over the next 15 years. So we can see there was no money in the bank in the first year. Now there was 10 lots. So to maintain that building for over the 15 years, they're going to need to put aside $3,200 in the first year, and what we've done, we've allowed 5% inflation, so the levies will go up 5% a year to allow for that over that 15 period of time, and from that we've got bank interest here at 2.5%. Okay, so then from the money they've got sitting in the bank, that can help reduce some of your levies over that period of time. So basically, here's your 15-year plan. Now, because that finishes at the end of the financial year, we do that from financial year end to financial year start. Here are our costs over the next 15 years, so they're all broken up into sections, which we can have a look a little bit later on. The money that we need to put aside to look after those costs for those 15 years. The interest that we can have from the bank account, so let the money work for the body corporate or the owners corporation. Opening balance at the end of the year, so you'll see you start off with no money, you've got $3,200 in year one. Now when you start your next year, it'll be $3,200. Okay. Now out of those 10 lot entitlements, we said $320 for year one, and you can see that's going to be your levies for the next 15 years. So $320 now, but in 15 years it'll be about $700 we need to put aside to see where the sinking fund will done from here. Now usually sinking funds get reviewed once every 5 years, so once we get over our first hump, then we'll probably do a review around year 5 to make sure that we can keep up with building costs and make sure that everything's right on track. So that's how that sort of goes together from there, but at least that way you've got a full plan, so you know this is where we're sitting now. We need to put some money aside for year 7, 8 and 9.